Hey everyone, it's Midnight Spectre, and today I've got some funny cousin stories I found on Reddit to share with you guys. I hope everyone remembers to like, comment, and subscribe, and stay tuned for the video. Doing a hike with two of my cousins and an uncle of ours, one of our cousins found a ball-shaped cactus and wanted to take it with him for no reason. He just thought it was cool. He didn't have any container, so he had to carry it in his hand, causing the cactus to sting his fingers continually. After a while, my uncle told him to throw it away because he was getting harmed. My cousin did it, but in the most stupid way. He threw the cactus in the air and kicked it, like a goalkeeper, causing the damn thing to get nailed to his foot. Oh geez, that sounds super painful. I remember when I was little, I was obsessed with cactuses for some reason, and I got in this little cactus plant from Walmart, and I have no idea how you're supposed to keep the thing alive, but even now, I'm so terrible with plants. I somehow got lucky enough to keep this bamboo plant I have alive, but I remember just one time touching it to see what it was like, and I got one of the spines in my finger, and I remember it hurt so much, and it bled so much, of course, and I cried a lot too. I have a cousin who's a nurse. She rose to a small bit of TikTok fame by posting videos talking about how she would have no problem unplugging someone's ventilator at the hospital to plug in her phone. There are a few of these videos, and each one made you wonder what was wrong with her. She was promptly fired from her job. Yeah, there's a lot of people that shouldn't be nurses that are nurses in the world. It feels like the quality of everything has really gone downhill. I'm not sure if there's some sort of monetary incentive that's getting a lot of people to become nurses or what, but I've met some rude nurses in doctor's office, or nurses that just plain don't care. I do love hearing stories about people who have a really bad take on a social issue and end up getting canned for stuff like this. And honestly, if you're a nurse and you do say something like this, then you really shouldn't be working with anything living. We were camping once, and my cousin walked off in the woods to smoke a joint and take a morning poop. He took a gun along to keep himself entertained. When he finished his joint and poo, he looked back at his pile and naturally decided to shoot it. He returned to the campsite covered in the shrapnel of his bad decision. So, when I read the line, took a gun to keep himself entertained, I figured the story was about to go super sideways and fast. However, I couldn't have possibly thought about how it went this time. Now, I haven't really gone shooting that much, and even though I probably should because I'll be moving to a wooded area that has bears and venomous snakes, but I didn't realize if you shot something, it could be blown back on you. Or was it because he was standing too close to it or had a high-powered firearm? But it looks like that cousin took the phrase, shooting the shit literally. Or maybe he coined the term and now we have him to thank for it. My cousin was a pretty big partier in college, so we assumed he had done more than just drink alcohol. When he was in his mid-20s, he lived in California, and he's called his parents who lived in Florida, 3-hour time difference, at like midnight Florida time, yelling, "I'm dying," and then hung up the phone and didn't answer when they called back. He finally called them back and kept telling him that he was dying. His girlfriend took the phone and explained that he had eaten an edible and he was just totally fine, just way too high and convinced that he was dying. Oh man, edibles. So a while back I went to the vape store and they had these gummies called Delta 8 THC, and the vape store dude was telling me it was a more mellow high, and I wouldn't get so baked out of my mind that I'd be just lost or scared. So I bought them and took them home, and I figured I'd try one that night a little bit before bed. So I took one, and I knew edibles will take a bit to kick in, like a half an hour or so, but at that time I didn't really feel anything, so I was like, oh, I probably just need to take some more. But it was pretty much my bedtime, so I decided just to go to sleep and try on the weekend. Well, imagine my surprise when I woke up in the middle of the night, absolutely baked out of my gourd, and I was laying in my bed, and I said to myself, "By Jove, I've been poisoned!" And I sat there in utter fear, thinking that I was gonna keel over like an Elder Scrolls NPC, but then I remembered I had an edible and I was just hilariously stoned, and that's when I figured out metabolism is also hilariously slow. Spoiler alert, Branson, Missouri. My cousin went on a meth bender with his girlfriend and best buddy. There they were, getting high as fuck, when they decided to have a Ferris Methler kind of day. First, they stole a bunch of food and gas from the local gas station, like $50 worth of stuff, super petty nonsense that's not worth anything. Then someone had the greatest idea ever. They were going to steal a boat. So they stole a super nice boat from the marina, the kind that the nice upper-class middle boat you'd find in the marina of the much wealthier clientele of Branson, Missouri. So they were cruising around when they got chased down by the cops and ended up getting arrested. Only because they had stolen a very expensive boat. They got charged with a drug possession, that original $50 worth of gas and Doritos, and finally Grand Theft Auto boat. And they were filmed the whole time stealing food, gas, and later the boat from the marina's security equipment. I'm not even from Missouri, but I know it's going to be a wild story whenever I hear Branson is involved. I couldn't imagine their thought process of stealing a boat, because that's one of the things you have to know how to drive, otherwise it'll sink, or it'll just not get you anywhere, right? But I feel like you wouldn't be able to get anywhere very well on a boat across maybe a lake or maybe down a river or something like that. I mean, you'll never be able to outrun the police because even if you do shake them in initial pursuit, They have whatever you're driving in your description to catch up with you later. I honestly love hearing trashy stories like this because it's always usually a treat. Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this week's video. I hope you remember to just like, comment, and subscribe. And let me know some of the funny cousin stories that you have in the comment section below. Stay tuned for next week's video. See you!